Other news, no pews, no Bibles, but plenty of bright lights and scantily clad women. Tonight, a second so-called church is under investigation by the city of Dallas. The latest target is called the Playground. Police call it a swingers club. The Playground on Harry Hines is owned by the same man who owns the Dark Side. City filed a lawsuit against it last week. The Dark Side caters to teens. Rebecca Lopez joins us now with more on the expanded investigation.
The windows are tinted, the doors padlocked. This building sits inside an industrial complex that has no religious markings on it. Even so, the owner calls it a church. The city says it's a swingers club. In a lawsuit obtained by News 8, the city of Dallas says owner Glenn Hudson has a certificate of occupancy for a church, mosque, or synagogue. But the lawsuit says the business is really called the Playground and is a swingers club. That is a business that caters to adults, often couples who wish to engage in random consensual sexual activities with other adults other than their spouses. The city has filed this lawsuit to shut down the Playground. According to the lawsuit, Dallas police officers went in undercover and found pornography showing on big screen TVs, topless dancers, and a VIP room where customers had access to beds and condoms. The city says it's an unlicensed sexually oriented business. Last week, News 8 reported the city filed a lawsuit against Hudson for operating this club called the Dark Side. Hudson claims this too is a church, but the city attorney and police say it's a rave club where drugs are sold to teens.
It was just it was a dance hall, and the drugs were rampant. The buying, selling, and use of the drugs were rampant, and our investigators felt that the group looked young.
Dallas police arrested the club's manager, Tommy Gunn, for allegedly selling drugs at the club and indecency with a child. Gunn has since been fired. Here's what happened when we attempted to talk to a man claiming to now be the club's manager.
Hey, can you get these guys out of my face?
According to the city, the owner, Glenn Hudson, claims he's an ordained minister, but they discovered he got his license from this online website. The city tried to close the Dark Side, at least temporarily, but a judge denied the order and allowed Hudson to operate for business Friday night. Now the city hopes the judge will listen to this new evidence and shut both places down. Rebecca Lopez, Channel 8 News.
Here's a look at Hudson's criminal history. He's been arrested twice for marijuana possession, once for unlawfully carrying a weapon. Hudson pled no contest to all three, serving probation.
Dallas has accused him of operating a rave club and a swingers club. Today in court, Greg Hudson got one last chance to prove his businesses are, as he calls them, outreach ministries. Channel 8's Cynthia Vega joins us live from the George Allen Courthouse in downtown Dallas, where this morning's hearing happened, and we heard him saying, if they ask me to jump, I'm going to ask, jump how high? What's all that about, Cynthia?
Well, good afternoon to you, Cynthia. Let's say this. The city attorneys say they came to court today prepared to present the evidence as to why they believe these two clubs should be shut down. But as you got an inkling of this, that never happened. Take a look at what happened instead. The club owner himself, Greg Hudson, walking into court, as you can see, he worked out a deal with the city behind closed doors this morning. Hudson says he has agreed to the permanent shutdown of both his clubs, the Dark Side on Northwest Highway and the Playground on Harry Hines Boulevard. Even after we heard terms of the deal, Hudson told us the arrest of one of his former club managers wasn't a good thing, but says he still stands behind the mission of what he calls not two clubs, but rather outreach ministries.
I know we have a spiritual organization. I believe the city has acknowledged that we have good intentions. However, Tommy Gunn and his crew were not good and did bad things.
It would be more along the lines that Mr. Hudson agreed with me that there was really no disputing the facts of the case, and the facts, the evidence that we were going to roll out today, I think would establish that it was not any sort of religious organization, that was a ruse.
And that was Assistant City Attorney Melissa Miles saying she was prepared to bring forward evidence in a hearing showing the Dark Side was a rave club and the Playground a swingers club. A part of the evidence, she says, they have proof of drug sales going on inside one club. She said they also had gotten a copy of the so-called instructional video from another club. She says it was more pornographic than instructional. And finally, she says some of the former employees from these clubs were prepared to testify on behalf of the city. So as a part of this deal, these two clubs shut down forever. Also a part of the deal, this now means Mr. Hudson cannot reopen another bar, anything like these two, anywhere in the city of Dallas ever again. Live in Dallas, I'm Cynthia Vega, Channel 8 News.